guys, welcome back to my channel. So welcome to another day, another video of 7 days to data science Python for the absolute beginners. And those who have not subscribed to this channel, just make sure that you subscribe to this channel for the latest tech updates and the tech knowledge. So without any delay, just let's jump into our Google Colab notebook where we are going to code. So welcome to day 3. So if you're still here, you are doing really well. Like day 1 taught us about how Python stores one value. Okay, now day 2 taught us about how Python stores many values. So today we are going to do something really exciting. Okay, so today we will stop playing with small examples, and today we will start working with real data, and for that Python needs two helpers. Okay, so imagine Python is a student, okay, and this student is really good at basics, but when the data becomes very big, thousands of numbers, Python asks for help, and that help comes from Numpy and Pandas. So let's meet Numpy first. So Numpy helps the Python to work faster with the numbers. Okay, so today we are going to study Numpy. So let me write it here. So today we are going to study about NumPy. So we have to import first NumPy. We will import it as import NumPy as NP. So NP is the basic keyword you use for you will later use for accessing the properties and the components of the numpy. Instead of np you can write also your name. The only difference will be that you will be calling your name to call the numpy functions. Okay, so this line means that the Python please bring numpy. Okay, so the numpy array is just like a list but stronger and the faster. So now you may be wondering, like, how do we define an array in NumPy? Okay, so we will write, like, let's define an array in NumPy. That's numbers is equals to np dot array, and we will start with the parentheses and we will define a list of numbers inside that. Okay, like we have defined a list in our day 2 video, so make sure you watch the day 2 video first so that this will be a cakewalk for you. Okay, so this looks like a list, but this is a special list. So now watch carefully what the magic will happen. So if you will type like numbers is plus 5. Okay, so just pause the video here and just guess for a while, like what will happen if I will execute this cell. I know this list is like looking a normal list to you, but it's a special list, I must tell you, because it's an array of numpy. So just pause the video and think for a while, like what will happen if you will execute this cell numbers plus 5. Okay, so before executing this cell, I'm gonna tell you like what will happen. So numbers plus 5 will add 5 to each numbers of the list. Okay, so the 10 will become 15, 20 will become 25, and 30 will become 35, and so on. So let's run this cell without any delay to see the magic happen. So you can see now, like 10 has become 15, 20 has become 25. So numbers plus 5 basically have added the number to the each element of the list. So Python just added 5 to every number, and that too without a loop. And this is why NumPy is very powerful. So just remember this, okay, that NumPy is used for many numbers, fast calculations, and data science maths. So we will not go too deep today, because if I will mug up you with many concepts and theories, you tend to forget the basic one. So I just want you to focus on the basic concept so that your foundation is strong. And like you have heard before, the building whose foundation is strong stays longer. Okay, this video now I will just give you about the zest of numpy and the pandas, like how it works and basically what are they. Okay, now comes the most important friend, that is pandas. So pandas help the Python work with the tables. So you might have seen an Excel sheet with rows and columns. That is exactly what pandas gives us. I'm assuming that all of you have must seen like Excel at least once in their lifetime. So if you will like see Excel closely, you will observe many rows and many columns in that. Okay, so that is exactly what the pandas also give us. And like we have imported numpy as np, we have to import pandas also. For that we use like import pandas as pd. Again, you can use any name instead of pd. The difference is that you have to use your name to call the functions of the pandas. Okay, so import pandas as pd will bring pandas into the python. So a table in pandas is known as a data frame. So let me write this for you. Okay, a table in pandas oh, is called a data frame. Okay, so let's create a small data frame. Okay, let's create you might have seen in my day 2 video, I have taught there like how to create a dictionary. So in that similar manner, we are going to create one dictionary in which we'll be having multiple values. Like for name, I will be having like 3 names. Okay, like Alice, Bob, and Charlie. And let's keep another name. Okay, let's keep dog. Okay, so and I will be like defining their ages. So let's take the Alice age as 21, then let's take 23, 25, 26, and 27. Don't just watch this video like a movie. Just make sure you are practicing in your own laptops with me so that you are with me and you're not left behind. Okay, 85, 90, 95, 100, and let's take one more, that is 110. Just make sure like for the name we have like taken 4 names, so you take only like 4 ages. If you will take like more elements, then you will face an error. Okay, so I have taken 4 names, that's why I'm giving that 4 ages and their respective marks, that is 4 only. Okay, so if I want to convert this data into data frame, what will I do? So let me give the name of the data frame as df is equals to, and remember we have imported pandas as pd. So to use the function of the pandas, we will be writing or to calling the pandas as pd. So pd dot, we will be writing like data frame, and we want to convert data into the data frame. Like we want to convert this data in the form of the tables, so we will be writing that. Okay, the thing which we want to convert it in tables, we will write that inside the parenthesis and just run this cell. Okay, so this is okay. I have faced some. Okay, just remember to insert a comma. Okay, don't make a silly mistake like me. Just remember to insert a comma. Okay, now let's run this cell. Okay, so now this cell has been run. So this is a table, and each column is a label and each row is a person. So let me show you the table which we have created. Just write ds and hit shift enter and see, all the information or the data is converted into a table. So this is a table. Okay, and each column is a label and each row is one person. So Python shows the table very nicely. Okay, so this is real data science. So now let's look only at one column. What if we want to look only at one column in the data? Suppose I want to look only to the ages of the person, okay, for making certain decision. So I will write like df, then the square bracket and the column which I want to access. I want to access the age, and then just hit shift enter and see, I have got only the ages. So this gives us only the age column. So just like selecting one column in the Excel, we have accessed only the one column of the data frame. So when the data is very big, we don't look at everything. Okay, we look at the top or we look at the bottom. So if you want to look at only, the top two rows of the data, we will be writing, like if you want to, just get an idea like what inside the data is. So we will be writing like df dot head, and we will mention like I want to see only the two rows. So I will just hit shift enter and see, it has given only the two rows of the data frame. What if I want to see only the last two rows of the data frame? Yeah, for that I have to write like df dot tail, and the number of rows which I want to see is 2. Okay, so I will just write 2 and see, it has given me the last two rays. And this head and tail is very important when you are doing the eda, which we will be seeing in my next videos of this series. Eda is very important in the data science. Eda refers to the exploratory data analysis. So the real life data is really really big, and you can't go through every cell like scrolling till the end. So you just have to sometimes know like what my type of data is. Like before the eda, you have to understand like how my data looks like, what values it has. For just a basic understanding of the data, what it's all about, you just have to look the like first two rows or the last two rows of the data. For that, you use the df dot head or the df dot tail. If you And yeah, I want to tell you one more thing. Like if you are not mentioning, like I have mentioned like df dot head, and then inside bracket I have mentioned 2. If you're not writing this 2 now, you will be accessing the top 5 rows of the data by default. Okay, so by default you will be accessing the top 5 rows only. Okay, so let's ask a simple question. Okay, so what is the average age? So if you want to know the average age, how will you? Okay, just pause the video and think for a while, like normal maths. Just forget about data science, python or anything. In normal maths, if you want to know the average age, what you will see? Yes, you will see the mean of that ages. Okay, so we will be for seeing the mean of that ages. Okay, so for first we have to access the age column, and I, as earlier I have mentioned, if you want to access the particular column, you just have to write like df square brackets and the name of the column. Now you want to know the mean age, okay, the average age. So you will be writing dot mean and then the parenthesis and just run this cell. Okay, so the mean age is 23.75, or the average age of in our data is 23.75. And that's how you can also calculate the median and any mathematical concept. And if you want to, know everything all at once, let me give you the golden the golden command. Okay, so that's like df dot describe. Here the data is small, so you will be, you can also verify it calculating it manually. Okay, so on writing df dot describe, you will be having the count. Like I have having the 4 ages as you can see in the data, and the marks are also 4. The mean is 23.75, and for the marks the mean is 92.75. So these are various statistical concepts which you can get of df dot describe. And I would suggest you guys to just pause the video and calculate the age and the marks like mean, median, max, like individually, like manually, and you can just cross check through the python. Okay, so this will also increase your understanding about how it is working, because it's important to understand how it's working. Nowadays code can be written from anywhere, you just have to know the core concept behind it. Okay, so just make sure that you manually calculate it and check this. Okay, so the python will answer every question of yours. Okay, so connecting back to day 2, remember list, and I think you also remember the dictionaries. The python uses both inside. Okay, that's why day 2 matters a lot. Now pause the video. Okay, then create a table with name, ages and any numbers you like, and then access the data frame. And if this worked, you are officially working with real data. Okay, so let me show you one more example. Okay, Okay, so what if the age of Charlie is not known and in the data it's given as none, which is technically not possible. So this will create, disturbance in the data. Now you are able to see, now you are able to locate the none inside the age because the size of the data is really small. But the real life data is quite complex and quite big, and you cannot locate the null values with your bare eyes or like seeing the each cell of the data. It's also a tedious task and it's practically also not possible. So we use the pandas functions for that, and I'm going to tell you how you're able to know that if there are any null values in my data or not. This null value is known as the null values in the data. So let me add a code cell just below it and show you how it works. So let us like df dot is null and then bracket, and we just shift enter and see. If you will see closely the in the age column, like my third value is none, and if you will see here, like in my age column, the third value is true. True means that this is the null value in your data. But also seeing this, true false, true false, true false is practically not possible when you are working with the large data or the real life data set. So for that we also insert like some in front of this, and we will be able to know that if we are having any null values in the column or not. For example, I am having one null value in my age column, so it's showing as 1. It means that you have one null value inside your age column. What if the age of Bob is also not known? For example, it's none here. So just pause the video and think for a while what will be the output for this. Yes, the each column will show the null values as 2. See, it's showing the null values as 2, which means there are 2 unknown values in your data. Okay, so I hope you are quite familiar with the pandas and the numpy. So here's an assignment for your day 3. So I want you guys to create a table. Okay, let me write the assignment for you. Okay, so first task is for you like create a table. Okay, then inside the table you have to give the contents as names, ages, any numbers you like. Keep some keep some none values also, so that uh, you are familiar with how it works. Now also calculate like the sum of the ages maybe, or the sum of marks, and various statistics calculations you using the df dot describe. Just try to play with the data. Okay, just try to play with the data frame you created. Okay, and make your notebook as messy as possible because you are just practicing your data. Okay, so if you are able to do this assignment, you are officially working with real data and you are good to go at this phase. Okay, so today you crossed a big step. Okay, you learned about numpy for numbers, pandas for tables, and data frames for the real data. For now on, we are data scientists in training. Okay, so tomorrow we will clean the data because the real world data is always messy, and that's where the fun begins. So you will be having a very roller coaster ride in the day 4 where you will be cleaning the data, and I will make sure that you enjoy that process. Okay, so if you practiced with me, come in day 3 and see you in day 4. So if you like this video and found this video really helpful and engaging, just like this video, subscribe my channel, and do not forget to hype my video just to keep me motivated. And see you in day 4. Till then, bye bye.